My name is Innocent Lawoko Muno, employee of UNHCR's Uganda operation as Senior Livelihood and Economic Inclusion Associate in Yumbe Sub Office, and now I'm a participant in ILO Entrepreneurship Training Academy. And yes, my video is about sources of startup capital, and I got several sources that can be explored by the different startup capitalists or startup businesses or entrepreneurs. Just to run over the summary, we have the bootstrapping that is from the own resources, then the inner cycle that is friends and families. Sometimes other people refer to it as love money. And then we have also grants from NGOs, government ministries and development and agencies. We can also get from there from finance from profit corporation. We have crowdfunding. We have angels and angel investors. We have incubators and accelerators for startups and growing businesses. We have private equity and venture capitalists. We also have pitching and competition, business competition. We have credit or loans from financial institutions like banks, microfinance, SACCOs, BSLAs, investment clubs, among others. We also have a government program that can fall under donation and grants. Then we also have bartering with individuals or entities. We have partnership from individuals and entities. We also have donations from NGOs, governments, and for profit. Then we can use anchors and side hustle. So let's go into. I will be explaining them one by one. The first one is the bootstrapping, that is personal resources. Bootstrapping or self-funding grants. Grant is the best and fastest, cheapest way of funding, that you use the resources that you have available as you start up to build your prototypes. It is referred to as the process of starting a company with your personal savings, including borrowed or invested funds from family members, friends, as well as income from your initial sales. It's also self-funded business. Do not rely basically mainly on traditional financial methods such as support from investors, crowdfunding, and banks. So in general, it's just beginning from your savings, for example. The next one is family and friends. That is the inner cycle, which can be referred to as love funds. So briefly, financial financing from families and friends, these are monies usually in terms of loans. It can be given to you as loans. Parents can also give it as a gift to their children, that the business owners get it from their family members or friends in order to help them finance their startup and growing them. And so in most time you find that this is good enough. People give you because they want you also to progress, for you to start up something for yourself. The next one we have is the crowdfunding and pre-sale for the startups. So crowdfunding and pre-sale can help startups and small medium enterprises obtain funding for their business. And crowdfunding in a snapshot is just raising funds from for a specific cause by asking many people to donate or give you small amounts, and usually bring to relatively shorter period of time, such a few months. Crowding is done online, often from social networks, which make it easier for supporters to sell, rather to share costs of their project, and with social networks. For example, Kiva gets money from different people, and then they lend it out to other small businesses. This requires a lot of time. You need to actually prepare in advance. You need to prepare a campaign. You need to have a clear pitch of the business so that when it gets out there, and also a wider network, so you are able to attract very many people. The next one is the angel funds or the angel investors. Angel investors offer more flexible investment terms compared to the venture capitals. They tend to invest large amounts of money and more than the family and friends usually exchange for equity in the startups. And also they may consider other forms of flexible funding, including revenue-based financing model, debt or debt-like instruments. So in most cases, they bring in seed capital at the beginning of a startups, and the reason why it is referred to as angel funds is that these people invest at very high risks. Startups are always very high risk, but for them, when they get interested and see that yes, they are able to double their income and get it feedback, definitely they will provide you the source of income rather than the source of capital. The next one is the venture capitalists or the private equity funding. Private funding, that is the venture capitalists, are like the angel funds. However, they tend to invest large amounts of money, sometimes up to 500,000 US dollars. And they can use these because they are professional investors within the industry. They can also offer guidance to your business. They can also participate in the governance and oversight of how the business operates through a broader set. An example in point here is Octas Africa Capital, that is managed through 97 Capital, is raising locally based funding of venture capitals who support Ugandan or African entrepreneurs and propagate the venture capital into as an asset class and for investments. So, startup incubators and accelerators. So accelerators, rather incubators, focus mainly on early phase of startups that they in the process of developing products and do not have a business model, and they mainly focus on these are mainly coaches, and they make sure that we have the the knowledge, they have the mentors, they have the coaches. So in most times, unless they're providing equity funding after the incubation process, they do not support. But we have also accelerators that focuses on speeding up the growth of existing companies and that already have a minimum viable product in the early hands of early adopters with an established product in the market. So these are the ways that also startups can access funding opportunities. Next is the pitching competition. In most times, it's also called business competition, which you also have to pitch your concepts or participate in a contest where entrepreneurs present their business concepts or business ideas to the panels in the hope of winning a cash prize or investment capital. And this I managed to do one in 2008 with World Bank and a private sector foundation where I pitched, and of course I didn't get the money, but managed to do something. Well, the next one is credit or loan financing for startups. You realize that credit or loans from banks, microfinance, SACCOs, VSLA, that is Village Savings and Loan Association or Savings and Credit Group, also from Investment Club, among others. And I must say that I belong to one of the investment clubs called Mekomosh Investments, and in most time you are given huge amount of money to the tune of about 100 million Ugandan shilling that you can do with your business without any hassle. But for the case of the bank loans, you need to be at least qualified for the personal loan, because as a startup sometimes your business may not qualify, but you have to pledge some of your assets, maybe your documents, maybe your land title or mortgage. But for startup, this is also quite risky. If the business fails, that means your property is also at stake. The quality of the qualify for the personal loan. Then we also have bartering with individuals and entities. Barter is an act of trading goods or services between two or more parties without the use of money or monetary medium such as credit card. In essence, bartering involves the provision of goods and services by one party in return for another or service or another party. For example, if I am a carpenter and I am doing a restaurant business, and maybe there's a farmer who wants his or her wall to be built, and I'm having a restaurant. Therefore, I can do the fencing for the farmer. The farmer gives me food, and this food becomes a startup capital for my restaurant business. Partnership from individuals or entities. In most times, as startups, you might be having a very brilliant idea, but you do not have the required capital. So when partners join financially, a program or project, they each bring the best they can offer to the deal. And when done well, financing partnerships leverage the resources of funding, knowledge, and expertise in all partners to the greater benefit of the business. Next, we have donations and grants. Donations from NGOs or development partners, from corporation, private corporation in terms of rather corporate social responsibilities. You can also have grants from NGOs, government ministries or profits. With some time, you can also get government programs that are giving startup capital, like the credit COVID-19 business relief fund in the country. That can also be part of your business. Anchors. We also have another source as anchors, and anchors are generally the first investors to make a substantial capital commitment to a fund. That is the initial investment can serve as quality indicators to others. Additionally, anchor investors on average provide large early investment than non-investors. So these are sometimes the institutions that provide efficiency, newly launched managers who might not have the ability. So if they, like for example, NSSF in Uganda, can invest in your business through the IPO. They give you initial amount of money, and that can help you to jumpstart your startup business. The side hustle. Side hustle is very simple. It's a way to make money outside your normal working routine of 8 to 5 hour PM. So you are able to generate side business, and it allows you to make more money. That gives you freedom to pursue your passion, buy things you need and want, and lower any financial worries to start up your small business. The truth is that most jobs, the 8 to 5 PM jobs, don't pay the bills, especially if you are just starting your career. So the side hustle can help you. You can affiliate market tips, where some tech companies will pay half a price tag to affiliate who brings in the new customer. For example, you could have up to 2,000 for referring merchants to Shopify. You can also have a dropship model where you you have your store, but you don't have the money to buy the stock. You get the customer, refer the customer to the supplier. The supplier supplies. You keep a small margin. For example, you can have, when the supply is selling at $150, you tell the customer $200, you keep the $50. That helps you to accumulate money to jumpstart your business. The other thing is also blogging. You can monetize your blogging. You add affiliate links to your blogs posts. You partner with brands to publish sponsored content. You add links to your shipping stores, and others. So you're able to get small money out of that. Where you find freelancer gigs, where we work remotely, you try to do things on computer, you work on the internet, you sell your business, you sell somebody's business. So these are other ways that you can also accumulate some funding, and you'll be able to fund your startups. Thank you. Welcome to end of my session. I remain Innocent Lawoko Muno, participant in Entrepreneurship Training Academy 2022 cohort from Uganda.